Ages. Yo, what is up? Welcome to another Foodie show, everybody. Your two favorite dudes, minus the boss. I know he's your favorite, but we're your two favorite. We already
Yeah,
know.
that's right.
Asked and answered. We had a text come in, asked for a sauce episode. We're diving into sauces. We're all sauced up for it. Let's get into it.
Another foodie show where the fun begins. Cooking up a storm with all our chef friends. Reviews and recipes that will blow your mind. Live shows and laughter, a good time you'll find. Join us for the ride on this culinary quest. Johnny and Dana will never settle for less. Laughs and interviews that will educate. Another foodie show, don't wanna be late. Another foodie show where the fun begins. Cooking up a storm with all our chef friends. Reviews and recipes that will blow your mind. Live shows and laughter, a good time you'll find. Join us for the ride on this culinary quest. Johnny and Dana will never settle for less. Laughs and interviews that will educate. Another foodie show, don't wanna be late. Another foodie show.
We ain't never late.
Never. Well, that's not true either.
Well, yeah.
Maybe this show.
Well, there's been once or twice maybe in the past 2 years, 3 years.
Right.
But it's all good. We're here, and that's all that matters.
Right. And you guys are here, and that's also what matters even more. Dutch, what's up, my brother?
He must
this weekend.
He must have been on watching for the drop, because that was 6:00 Eastern right there. Did that comment come through 3 hours ago?
Yeah. Mine says 3:03 p.m. for me. Like, whoa, you're racing us there, boy.
Yeah, he's trying to be
right.
raced.
And of course, speaking of race, he is in the house. Eduardo is in the house.
Mm-hmm.
What's up, adventures? Yes, this was the first one to come through. So, boom. Welcome to All Sauced Up. Before we get into the deep dive, how was your week, buddy? It's the end of the weekend. Everybody in the chat, how was your week? How was the weekend? Everybody ready for the next week ahead?
That's what I say. It's great to say it's Sunday, but you look at it and be like, oh, well, tomorrow's Monday. It's back to the grind again.
Yeah.
But no, the week was fine. It was we had about 2 inches of snow, and it shut everything down.
Everybody like, oh my, no, we can't do this.
Yeah, and then some places actually shut the next day down because it was supposed to be worse because everything was melting and freezing up.
Okay, right.
So, but yeah, so it was great for me because I at least got 1 day off this past week because I was on 12 days break. So.
Hey, after last weekend, bud.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
That's right. Finally got to fire the grill up over yesterday, matter of fact. So wasn't too bad.
Nice. Obviously the Santa, right?
Oh, absolutely. Is there any other?
I mean, not in your backyard right now. Well, there's actually quite a few in your backyard.
There is, but I feel
not
bad
in the
because
field of vision.
Yeah, I feel bad because I got the Santa Maria fired up, and all the rest of them's looking at me with sad faces and everything.
Like, hey, yeah, I remember when I was the cool new one too, bro.
Yep, exactly. Remember when he used me every day?
Right, yeah. Hey, just wait, you'll be sitting where I was.
That's right.
Oh man.
What about you?
No, it was a pretty smooth week. Like, there's not much craziness going on at work anymore, so that's nice. Yeah, I mean, weekend. I mean, it was busy. I did a lot of work, but a lot of work for like us.
Mm-hmm.
I was on a lot of stuff. Did a lot of video editing, like computer sit down editing.
I gotcha.
It takes longer, so.
Mm-hmm.
But it was kind of nice. Hung out with the wife a bunch too. Just her and me, so that was much needed cool time.
Perfect.
So
Perfect.
yeah.
Just letting you know. Be on your best behavior because boss is here.
Yeah, and then we totally did everything we needed to do for the week for our jobs here.
That's right.
Yeah. How's everybody doing tonight?
Oh shoot.
No, but we'll get into it. We will get into it. We were
Mm-hmm.
asked about sauces.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I've made a couple. Damon's made definitely a couple at least.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't know, now you're going to know. I'm just going to read them off. There's no sense in really pulling these one up. So the 5, as it started, a quick history of the mother sauces. Mother sauces can be traced back to the 17th century of the culinary genius of Francois Pierre de la Varney. I hope something like that.
Mm-hmm.
He was a French chef and author, right? So he
Okay.
broke it down into five mother sauces, which everything then stems from off of that. In theory, there's that's not black and white, but there's the bechamel sauce. This is the white sauce made with milk, roux, and seasonings. Common, that's like where all your cream sauces are based out of. There's velouté sauce, which is a white sauce made with chicken, veal, or fish stock. So this is
Okay.
like the other end of that. Espanol sauce is a brown sauce made with beef or veal stock, tomato puree, mirepoix, which if you don't know what mirepoix is, that's just onions, equal parts onions, carrots, and celery and seasoning. You should definitely know what mirepoix is because that's used to make tons of dishes. Hollandaise sauce, which is an emulsion of egg, butter, lemon juice, and seasonings. Now, this is where we get like our mayonnaise and stuff like that. That's all off those kind of sauces. And then the tomato sauce, which is your red sauce based off onions and herbs and seasonings, obviously. That's where all the sauces stem from,
Gotcha.
as they say, is the 5 mother sauces.
Mm.
Man, there ain't no way that's happening right now. You know how long it would take me to make all 5 of those sauces?
Oh damn.
Just wait. I actually made a bechamel on my page. If you guys want to know how to make a bechamel, it's on there. If you want others, text the hotline. Let us know what you want to see. But like literally, when people are making like all these online, um, 0 seconds in between that. 0 seconds. Make one.
Mm. No, I was shaking my head. I went to go pull the hotline number up and I hit delete. So I have to go back and find the number.
Oh, I'll tell everybody what it is right now. Oh no. Whew, I almost made a fatal error. Fatal error, folks. So all these online like and how most people make their homemade mac and cheese, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You're making some sort of a roux, a white cream sauce to begin with, and then you're adding cheese. So essentially you are making a bechamel sauce
Okay.
and then building off of it in a sense.
So basically equal parts flour and equal parts fat then. A butter or something like that.
Well, let's look up the recipe real quick. Okay, so the hotline is 740-673-0251. Again, the Dude Network
Oh,
hotline
there
number
it is.
is
It didn't delete.
740-263-0251.
I deleted it for one of the other ones. I still got it for this one.
Oops. Sucks for them. We'll get it back. We'll get it back, folks.
Yeah.
But, and then obviously your tomato sauce, no matter what you're using, like if you're making enchiladas, lasagna, whatever, you're adding tomato puree or tomato sauce or tomatoes, you're cooking them down and you're adding spices and seasonings to them. So it's a tomato sauce, right? Then you have
Right.
your brown sauces, which come, that all the gravies come from. Like you think of gravy, brown gravy, for beef and all that kind of brown gravy stuff. And then everything else, what you would lump that in is the velouté sauce, like whether you're doing a chicken style sauce or if you're doing something for fish. Then there's,
So, now that it's saying like that, I mean, even when you make like gravy for like mashed potatoes or whatever, it's still using the same root principle. Still using equal parts flour and fat.
well, that brings us, what are you using that for though? Not to flavor the gravy,
No, that's just to make the roux.
but why do you make the roux, Damon?
Hell, he's got to have some kind of base.
And how do we bring this is so like a roux is essentially butter and flour, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which also, if you look up how to thicken sauces, one of the ways to thicken sauces is with
But
a
yeah, I mean, so
beurre. It's called beurre something like that. And it is literally equal parts butter and flour, like mixed all together. And
Mhm,
you make them up in like little tabs or balls and throw them
mhm.
in, mix
I
them in
guess,
there.
because I
Which
mean,
is the
I was
beginning
saying
of a roux.
before she said it, yeah, right there, it's to thicken it. Because I mean, once the flour's in there and you add whatever liquid to it, and then it gets thick. Because
Right.
like if I'm making brown gravy for mashed potatoes or whatever, I'm using like flour, some fat, and then I'll put hot water to it. If I'm
See,
making brown
I do it differently than that. When I make like
or a stock of some sort, but
when I
mostly
make a
water.
like gravy, like turkey gravy for Thanksgiving or like a brown beef gravy or whatever type kind of deal, is I will take all the juices from the protein that I cooked, and then I will
Mhm. Yes.
just add water and different seasonings and stuff like that. And when that has all culminated together and made this really nice stuff, I will add cornstarch slurry to that to thicken it.
Okay.
That's how I do those. Adds, whatever I'm using. Like if it's turkey and I don't have turkey stock, I'll use some chicken stock in there with some water. Get the base built up off the drippings. And then when all that's tasting good, then I will cornstarch slurry it. Which the best way to do that is with cold water, if you don't know, equal parts, cold water basically, and or like couple tablespoons of what did I just say? Cornstarch, and
Cornstarch.
get a nice little liquid, mix that up.
Mhm.
And you pour it in while it's super hot and boiling, and then mix it in. You'll slowly start to see that thicken, and as that stop, when you're using that method, stop before it's as thick as you want it, because once it cools down, it's going to thicken up a little bit more.
Mhm.
Same thing with the Burmanaise, whatever. I'm sure that's not quite accurate, but it's pretty damn close. Which is just the butter and flour mixed together. You throw it in there, mix it in, and boom, helps thicken it up. The flour helps thicken it up, and the butter keeps it. Um, I think you're supposed to cook them together so it cooks off the raw taste of the flour. That's what I was trying to say.
Yeah, because I see a lot of people don't do that. A lot of people don't let it sit there for a few minutes and just like you just said, let that raw flour just cook off.
Or this is the other mistake I think most people will tend to do is they cook off the first flour they put in there. And
True.
then they're like, oh no, this isn't thick enough.
I
So they
need
add
more.
more flour, and
True.
the raw flavor of that's never going to cook off with all that liquid.
You're right. True that.
Made that mistake back in the day for sure.
Well, see, that's how it is in the South. I mean, we're always constantly making gravy for something.
Right.
So you've got to become a master at making gravy, and it's an art. Some people can't do it. Still,
Some people can, yeah. And I believe everybody can, but you really have to just understand and learn a few techniques and understand that those are essential for what you're doing. Essential.
Mm-hmm.
So we can get into some of these. 50. I'll pull it up here in just a second. So here's a list of 50 essential sauces. We're just going to run through them kind of quick and talk about them after, kind of as we go. Go ahead and pop me in whenever.
All right.
Let me see. Let me try.
Live action.
All right. I like that right there. Okay. So here we have, I'm sure that's it. Tomato sauce. Yeah. Homemade tomato sauce. Should be a kitchen staple. Chimichurri sauce. Great sauce. It cuts fat perfectly. It's so good with beef. It's also good with other stuff. And if you don't know, a balance between fat and acid is absolutely essential.
100.
Tahini? Huh. I'm not even sure what that is. Rich, creamy, zingy, and ideal for drizzling on just about anything. Oh, falafel, that kind of stuff. Okay. All right. Like a dill. Lemon dill.
I was gonna say that's something got a bunch of dill in it.
Right. Lemon dill. I mean, be good on some things for sure. Romesco sauce. Right, red Spanish birthday fat chili garlic sting. Huh. Pesto, yeah. Basil pesto, so good.
It is, and a lot of people don't like it too, though. There's some people
don't like I know. It's why but you know, I get it. Some people don't like this sauce, cilantro, because they have that weird gene, and I absolutely love cilantro.
No, I've never seen it made into a sauce like that.
Oh, I don't make it into a sauce by itself. But I blend a lot of it into, like, sometimes 2 whole bundles you get at the store or whatever.
Yeah.
Into my avocado sauce. Easy cream sauce. Yeah. Nice little white cream sauce. Perfect for pasta, whatever you want. Basically a bechamel. Pomodoro sauce. Another Italian staple. Here we go. Tzatziki, I was going to say that looks like tzatziki for that Greek and Mediterranean influence.
That's right.
Peanut sauce coming out of Thai kind of dishes.
True.
Honey garlic sauce. Lemon butter. Yeah, exactly. That's all I want for my seafood pretty much.
That's right.
Mustard sauce. Got to have it.
What? Not that mustard sauce.
White wine, as long as it's Carolina Gold.
That's right. This is the wrong color out there.
Definitely the wrong color. White wine sauce, absolutely one of my favorite. Like, that's how you get your shrimp scampies, from that kind of stuff. Tahini yogurt sauce. Okay, so the same sauce as the first one or second one, just using the yogurt. Lemon pepper sauce. Yep. Great on wings. Horseradish sauce. Man, that horseradish sauce is good. Aioli, again, coming from the hollandaise section of the mother sauces. It's just an emulsion. Ooh, garlic butter sauce. Yeah, I love lobster. You know, we all love eating crab and lobster with that.
True.
Roasted red pepper sauce. Now, this is something that's on my list to do, is roast a bunch of red peppers, blend them up, make them into a sauce for pasta.
I haven't never made it for a pasta, but I made it as an like a condiment sauce.
Oh, okay. Like for a sandwich or something?
Like for sandwiches and stuff.
Yeah. Classic pesto. That looks like pesto without. Oh, okay. So it's basically pesto without pine nuts. Okay, I was gonna say it looks like pesto. Tomato cream sauce. Big fan of this. Several ways you can do this, folks. Several ways. You can literally just add heavy cream to it. You could make a separate bechamel and mix it together. You could make like a cheesy, creamy sauce and mix them together. Several ways you can approach that. Definitely a big fan. Avocado sauce. Yep.
Mhm.
Really big fan of that one. Gremolata. Huh. Classic Italian condiment. 3 ingredients. What's the 3 ingredients? Oh, there you go. Green sauce. Not sure. Lemon caper sauce. My wife would love that one.
I've never eaten.
Yeah. Ponzo sauce. Citrus, salty, and savory all in one. Yum yum sauce. Oh boy. Yum yum sauce made the list, folks.
Oh boy.
Our man, I have that word. Son of a B. Arrabbiata sauce, whatever.
I'm not sure.
Another red sauce, but it's like a spicy tomato version from Italy. Lemon garlic butter sauce. Okay, come on, folks.
They're just repeating almost now.
Right. A remoulade. Now here we go. Yeah.
There
Here
we
we
go.
go. Quick cilantro lime. Yeah, definitely. I make that. See, I just mix that with like the avocado and bada bing, bada boom. It's all of them together. Delicious.
Interesting.
Pizza sauce. Tartar sauce. There you go.
Hmm.
I don't like tartar sauce, but I've had a few homemade that I do like. Pesto. Okay. Pesto cream. Yeah. We get it. We get it. White barbecue sauce. Okay. Probably like Alabama white sauce making
Yeah.
the list. All right. Easy lime crema. Okay. Sour cream sauce. Interesting. Cheese sauce. Definitely. Cucumber sauce. That one's for the rest of y'all. Me cocktail sauce. I'm all about it. Barbecue. Brown butter. Well, brown butter's a good one to know anyway, but like with sage too, that's really good with just some noodles. Oof. So, okay, sun-dried tomato. What is that? Buffalo Ranch. All right, making the 50 essential list. Chipotle sauce. Okay, yeah. So then it's just multiple honey mustard instead of just mustard. Homemade teriyaki. Fajitas. Man, I hadn't even seen soy sauce on here yet. Stir fry sauce. Special. Nah, get that out of here. We don't need special burger.
Well, that's why I waited to the last.
Right. But as you can see, it has just exploded. See, that's where like the 5 mother sauces. I don't know how the like some of the Asian, the soys and that kind of stuff play into that because there's nothing like those on there on that 5 list.
No. Let's see something.
Oh man. Boy, this one's pretty in depth.
And over there, I can't pull it up in a second, but Eduardo made a good statement right there. A lot of good food does not need a sauce. You're all right. As a condiment.
Very true. Right. But if you have a perfectly cooked, super savory steak with just a drizzle of like chimney or something with a bunch of acid on it, that will complement that steak so well that people be like, I don't even know what they did, but it was just magical in my mouth.
It makes a difference. It really does. I've even taken it and made it and then put it into the compound butter.
What, like chimney or something?
Made a chimney compound butter.
That's a great idea.
Mm-hmm. And then put your couple of little dabs on there.
That's
Tin
a
it
great
out.
idea. Right.
Yeah, I can't find.
Okay. All right, buddy. Exactly what we're trying to say. Helps
So
elevate that layers of flavor type stuff.
yes. So here we go. Talking about the mother sauce for soy. It actually says the
Uh-huh.
mother sauce is the soy sauce is the mother sauce of Chinese cuisine.
Yes, right.
So basically, it's the staple and
So
everything comes.
I think it's been revamped to there's 7 mother sauces now. So it started with 5, then there's like the soy sauce, and I think they bumped it to one more. Let me look that up real quick. I think it's 7. I was hoping someone would bring this up for this.
I'm not seeing a. Well, yep.
Yep,
Right.
Taste of Home.
Yep, that was what I just pulled it up.
Jimmy, all of this.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't have the demi glaze. I mean, it doesn't have that though. That's not the one I saw.
Who knows?
Maybe I was wrong, but I thought they had expanded it to include that and one other one because it was just different enough that it didn't come from any of those 5.
Nah.
Well, I was looking at this 100 sauces from around the world, but ooh-wee, bud. There's a lot.
Yeah.
And it's this would be like a whole show to go over, dude. Because some of these
We'll swing a couple up.
Okay, we'll go through the first 10 because they have
Here we go.
they have like the ingredients and stuff. So we'll go through
Even better.
Let me get to the first, and then it's just a list. So let me pull this up real quick.
All right, get your pads and pencils up.
I also don't want to. I'm ready to go whenever you pull that in.
It's in.
So forgive me for the pronunciation, but I'm gonna guess Tome from Lebanon and one other region. Salt, lemon juice, canola oil, and garlic in a mortar and pestle. It's an authentic Lebanese and Syrian garlic paste made with whole garlic cloves, which are usually crushed in mortar and pestle. Nowadays, food process. Okay. Served with shawarma. Man, I could think of a lot of things I would use that for, but I would use the option right there, olive oil. Oof. Nothing. There's nothing there I'm not liking. Yeah, ají krill. Yeah, no, sorry, Peru. I'm sorry. That one. Main ingredients: ají, amarillo pepper, and oil. So yeah, or salsa de ají. I can pronounce that. Is a spicy Peruvian salsa. Okay. Now this is the one I'm interested in: Peruvian black mint sauce, salsa ocapa.
Okay.
Main ingredients: ají's again, onion, garlic, queso. Looks like the fresca stuff that crumbles. Now, what is that? Aguacate, evaporated milk, and peanuts. Interesting.
Oh, so yeah, basically it's a Peruvian black mint.
Hmm.
There you go.
Man, I bet you that's pretty good. Sauce de arachide, something like that. Sorry. So peanut butter, hot peppers, tomato, onion, and garlic. Ivory from the Ivory Coast. All right. Where was that from again? I mean, I know Ivory Coast, but it just says Ivory Coast. All right. 10-4. That sounds good.
So it's served with fufu.
Sorry. Served with what?
Fufu.
Wow, what's fufu?
I'm not sure, but we finna find out.
I'm gonna open it right now. What is that? So fufu is a staple dish made from pounding cassava and unripe plantains together with a big wooden pole and mashing them into while adding water. Vigorously stirred makes sure smooth texture. Texture is quite gummy and stretchy, while the flavor is bland. Huh? So maybe it's like their tofu, their version of tofu.
It's a sticky
That's
dough, is
pretty
what it's
bad.
saying.
Right, that's like a sticky dough.
Mm-hmm.
It also says it's typically served over long green white rice. Ragu alla anarta. Or anatra. Sorry, anatra. Obviously from Italy. Oh, that's all it says. It doesn't say the region. Usually they're really specific about that. Ooh, duck, garlic, onion, carrot, celery. So the onion, so that's well, in Italian they could call it not sopressata, sofrita instead of mirepoix. It's a little bit different. It's like one part onion, half carrot, and half part celery, something like that, or 2 onion, 1, something like that. It's a little different than a mirepoix down in Italy. And guanciale, that delicious cheek bacon. Well, I have some duck. I'm gonna have to try this. Maybe some goose. Pesto Genovese. Yep, Genovese. I've also seen this done a little differently, where it's a little. They add something else. I can't remember. Ragu alla bolognese, which is your meat sauce, and that also it's come from Bologna. That also uses again the sofrito or the mirepoix type stuff. It's a little different from ragu, but basically, because ragu doesn't use the sofrito, but it's just another version of a meat sauce. A matriciana, absolute killer, by the way. Italy taking over. Let's go. So a matriciana is it's like the same as like a tomato sauce, like a nice easy tomato sauce, but with spicy peppers like red peppers or Calabrian chilies, stuff like that. Mala sauce from China. Szechuan.
That just looks hot.
Yeah, it looks like a chili sauce essentially. Yeah. Which, if I'm looking at the ingredients, that's essentially
100%.
Yeah. So it's actually called what was that again? Mala sauce. Huh. Look right there, Sichuan, China. Yeah. So it's just like the chili sauce. Okay. Interesting. Never heard it called that. Curry paste, Thailand. Yeah. Ooh, Thai curries. Ooh. I love me some Thai food, bud. I'm not even going to try to pronounce these names, folks. Sorry.
I was waiting on that one.
I mean, I know that first one's Nam, but I'm pretty sure no, we're done. I'm not going to embarrass myself or Thailand at all. And then it just gets into a ton of other ones. There's 100 sauces from 100 best sauces in the world. Is this one? This whole list.
Is there any Carolina Gold on that sauce?
Ooh, that was it should be.
It probably made it right at 100. It probably like 100.
Beurre Blanc, Mole Negro, Ragu. Ooh, man, oh my gosh, they got some good sauces I forgot about on here. Son of.
That number 40, that was one of the other ones that was on the list of 7 mother sauces.
Yeah, demi glaze, right.
See,
Hoisin sauce. Hoisin made the list. Whoa, 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 whoa. What are you doing?
It's your computer.
Béarnaise sauce. Oh my gosh, man. I gotta step my sauce game up, dude. What
Yeah,
the?
you slacking if you ain't made at least 40 of them.
Yeah, right. I made like 5. Maybe.
That's why you see all these
Oh,
names you
man.
can't pronounce, and you call them girls. You got a honey garlic sauce,
Right. Honey dill.
and now you got a honey deal.
Oh man, I don't see no Carolina Gold yet, buddy.
Yeah. There's like the boss man said. If there's no Carolina Gold on the list is fugazi.
They got a lot of good ones on here to not be called
Yeah,
Fugazi though,
yeah. I don't
buddy.
know.
I
about to
will say,
say,
that they came up short for sure. They failed in some way. Ooh, pesto.
yes, right there.
Trapanese.
Number 98.
Oh shit! No way!
That's it, bro.
Let's go.
And that's the worst one right there.
Yeah, we're definitely not going to talk about that. Yeah. We're glad it made the list though.
South Carolina's on the map.
So that's pretty. I mean, it's just like you see all the sauces go from everywhere.
Mm-hmm. It's a broad spectrum.
And used for it's wild. And there's like we already saw it in the chat. We already saw it in the chat.
Mm-hmm.
People feel a kind of way about sauce sometimes. Like, don't put it on my food.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah,
if it's not like
that's been my philosophy the whole time with stuff. Even like when we do all the chicken wing events and everything that we do, I'll take sauce with me, and it's on the table, and there might be 3 or 4 different ones, but you can put it on there if you want it. But my food is going to speak for itself before you even got to put any sauce on it. Now, if you want to add it, perfect. You ain't gonna hurt my feelings.
Oh yeah, like even when I make really good chimichurris or my
Mm-hmm.
avocado cremas or whatever, I don't like if I make Kim tacos or whatever, I don't put it on there unless she says it. And chimichurri, I always just set on the table.
Mm-hmm.
That's up to you. Does it complement it? Absolutely.
Absolutely, yeah.
But you know,
but I'm not gonna force it on you.
Mm-hmm. So what are some of everybody's favorite sauces? Over in the chat, what are your favorite sauces? What about you, D?
It really just depends on what we're eating, though. That's the thing. I mean, I'm really, as far as a condiment sauce, I'm really, and I'm when I say this because I make them, but I really don't use a whole lot of condiment sauces.
Right.
You know, I don't want wet ribs. I want dry rub ribs and stuff like that. You know, of course, you know, you make when you're making pasta dishes or something, you're gonna make your sauces, but you know, that's 2 totally different realms.
Right.
But yeah, it's like, and the problem is
What's your favorite pasta sauces and stuff like that?
if I had to choose, it's gonna be a Alfredo sauce.
Okay. So like a scampi, we got like a scampi style sauce right here.
Yeah.
Lemon butter garlic wine, absolutely. That is literally shrimp scampi is when it's done correctly is literally one of my favorite. Literally one of my favorite. Whoa. Homemade boysenberry BBQ chimichurri Tuscan butter.
That's a mouthful.
I would love to see the recipe for that. That is insane sounding.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that is just insane sounding. If you guys are making homemade ranch, by the way, you don't even know what ranch can taste like.
True.
Which, again, when I say these things, I'm not saying like, oh, I make homemade ranch all the time or I don't eat it. That is not true. But I'm telling you. So one of my favorite sauces is like what I call my weekday sauces. Like my dude, the sauce is done by the time the noodles have almost come to al dente to where I finish cooking them in the sauce in the pan.
Mm-hmm.
It literally takes that long. So however long the noodles, like 10, 12 minutes, usually something like that. I cut the water on to boil. I put oil in the pan,
Mm-hmm.
turn on the heat, and as soon as I turn on the heat, I put my garlic and basil or whatever I'm putting in there, so that as that comes up, it like kind of blooms the spices, but it also infuses the oil to kind of carry those flavors in there.
Mm-hmm.
Tomato paste in there, mix it up, pasta water, get it going, make it really runny. Throw the pasta in there, finish it off. It'll start pulling itself together with all that starch. Boom, boom, boom. If I cooked any meat, throw that in there. And then once it's right about where I want it, cut the heat. Wait like 1-2 minutes. Throw my cheese in, pecorino, parmesan, whatever I'm using. Stir that in until it's all nice and creamy. Couple pads of cold butter. Finish it off. Boom, done. It's that simple, folks.
All right, so right there, before you go too far, you've said it multiple times on different shows. The pads of butter.
Right.
What is it doing for that sauce?
Ooh, the science behind it? That's a good question. I'd have to look that up.
Oh, to you, what does it do?
Oh, it just kind of pulls everything together and holds it. Makes it a little bit more creamy. Yeah, exactly. It creams it more. The other key when you're doing stuff like this, if you're doing it for yourself, it's one thing or another. But when you make a sauce like that you finish perfectly in the pan, if you then serve that onto a cold plate, your sauce immediately tightens up and doesn't present as well. So if you're gonna then serve that to someone, like throw the plate in the microwave for a little bit, or like under hot warm towels or something, or in the oven for on low for like a minute to get a little bit of heat on it, and it keeps your pasta sauce from immediately tightening and looking like it. Everybody's seen the macaroni and cheese when it's been sitting in the pan too long when no one finished it. You don't want your pasta being served like that. And some of those sauces tighten up instantly.
Dang. So what you're saying is, if I'm eating pasta with some sauce, I don't need to use paper plates.
Oh no, I do, bro. No.
I'm just messing with you.
Definitely. I do get yelled at from a couple of my friends, like, bro, you go through all these like nice videos and then you end up serving it on a paper plate. And I'm like, yeah, but I don't want to do dishes.
Yeah, I don't want to do all them dishes.
Yeah. So
that's my thing. You mess around, we might have a plastic fork at the same time.
I mean, dude, so what I will do once in a while is I will dirty one cool looking dish, make like a nice little video of that, and then everybody else is eating off paper plates because we're not trying to do the dishes.
For real.
Also agree with this. So like you're like how we talk about the original Alfredo, how it's just the cheese in the pasta water, and you literally have to sit there and mix it in the noodles till you beat it into a cream, right? You literally have to sit there and emulsify that water and that cheese together as it's melting, all the fats and all that. If you stick that onto a cold plate or a paper plate, it just looks like, I mean, it's going to taste the exact same. It will taste the exact same, folks. Trust me, it will taste no different. It changes nothing but the presentation, but to each their own.
Yeah. Well, Let's
Yeah.
take a commercial break real quick and come back and put a bow on this thing and wrap this thing on up here.
Yeah, we'll talk about how to prevent and fix broken sauces and how to thicken sauces a little bit.
There we go. All right, we'll be right back.
Commercial break.
You think anybody wants a roundhouse to the face with these bad boys on?
I don't think so. Dude, just look at them in all their glory. Oh my gosh, those pants are incredible.
Okay.
I actually would
All right,
love that.
I'm calling it right. I'm calling it right here. Next time we go somewhere, we're getting pants just like that.
Bro,
Yeah.
just say less. Say less.
Yep.
Please. Guarantee we can find-
What's your thought process on how much you're going to put down here?
I was gonna put everything on.
And you got to hurry up and make a choice.
$17.29 is what I won on that last bet, so I thought about putting it all on that
On a baller strike.
on a strike.
Let's do it. It's coming
Do
up.
it.
Let's do
Hey,
it.
it's like the over. I was gonna put 17.
We're here at Great White Smoke out of Bloomington, Indiana, black and white. You know, I think we need one little thing to pull this whole campsite together. Garage beer. Let's go.
I said, if we send you a bottle of Zab, would you be willing to try it and see if it's something that you would like to? It's beautiful. And see if I said, I think it would make a great kettle corn. I said, I think with those pepper flakes and all the the onion powder, the salt, pepper, the poppy seeds, like everything that's in there.
You're not wrong, sir.
I said, I think it would make a really good popcorn. And he goes, yeah, get me a bottle. Let's test it out. So Ken, being a man of his word, got a bottle and sent us some. And Damon's about to take that first.
Do we have the video of me touching the cow and almost falling in the pond?
Okay, you didn't get it. You got really close, way closer than I thought it was going to happen. And here's the thing: that was like 60 pounds ago. You'll get it this year. I believe it.
It was 91 pounds ago.
That was a baby calf ago.
Calf ago.
You were gonna ride that cow all the way home, and I have that confidence in you, sir.
I will touch that cow.
They were fast.
I'm
wondering if I can find it.
Something that big move that fast. That was frightening.
Yeah.
But
I really thought I was going to fall in the pond, though.
we really did, too.
Oh, I've got it.
If you don't know what that was, new shows on the Dude Network, Deer Blind Dudes, Wednesday night, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 o'clock Pacific.
Talking about all things outdoors.
So, if you need to thicken your sauce, there are a few tips and tricks on how to do that.
Talk to me.
So, let me toss this up. Because it's not going to take much.
You got too much longer anyway.
Pull me up whenever you're ready, big guy.
Beam me up, Scotty.
Beam me up, Scotty. Which I'm sure they never said.
Nah.
Just like, you know, all the other movie things that never happened.
Right.
For Saturday shows, check out some cool, fun stuff on the Saturday shows. I said that weird, but you get the idea. Flour. If being gluten-free isn't a concern, adding flour is a fantastic way. Combine equal parts fat, oil, good oils, butter, stuff like that. Whisk in 2 ounces for every cup of liquid. Since the flour is already cooked in the roux making process, you won't run the risk of dish tasting like raw flour. So again, it's talking about making yourself a roux and equal parts of fat and flour, and use 2 ounces for every cup of liquid that you're trying to thicken. I mentioned it earlier, cornstarch arrowroot. There are gluten-free alternatives to thickening. This is a cool thing right here. They will also keep your sauce clear and cloud-free. 1 tablespoon for every cup of liquid. Mix the cornstarch with equal parts water to create a slurry. I use cold because what I'm cooking is hot. That's
Mhm.
also key. That's also key. If you're trying to thicken something cold, or I mean, yeah, there's little tricks. I can't remember. If you go back and watch one of the Chef Ben episodes, he talks about it.
True.
Tomato paste. Obviously, if you're making a tomato based kind of stuff, you add more paste, it thickens it up. Reduce the liquid. Keep it boiling for a little bit longer. Doesn't always work the way you want for certain things, but if it's just a little bit, if you're not too far along where you actually need some help, or it's like we talked about with like how we make our brown gravy, where it's just pan drippings and then some extra broth or bouillon or stock that we made. We will then use a cornstarch slurry because no matter it's to the amount we would have to boil that to thicken it, we would lose all of it. Swirl in a pat of butter, boom. It'll make it a little bit creamier. Also helps thicken up the stuff. Add an egg yolk. Interesting. I would have never thought to do that. Huh.
Thicken salad dressings and custards.
Obviously, custards, right? Yeah. Okay.
And it says thickening rich cream sauces.
Which it makes absolute sense. Out of all the stuff I know that eggs are used for, that makes absolute sense. I just never would have thought of it. Right at the end, this is the most important part. Then add the tempered egg. If you don't know how to temper an egg, the best part would be to scramble the yolk in a bowl above the pot that you're cooking the sauce in, so that it warms it up without scrambling it. Otherwise, you toss, egg into hot, it's going to start, there's huge potential for it to cook the egg as if like you're scrambling it or poaching it or whatever. Starchy vegetables like potatoes. Again, yeah, I will use potatoes all the time. Especially when we're making soups, that we add potatoes. If it's not getting just that little bit of thick, I'll like mash up a little bit of the potatoes, stir it in a bunch because all that starch, just like with pasta water we've talked about.
I even seen people take and use the instant potatoes.
Oh, yeah. I mean, boom. Never even thought of that. I'm trying to think. I mean, I pretty much just used those first handful on that list. My favorite is for anything is to do a cornstarch slurry because it adds zero taste and it doesn't change the way your sauce looks.
Gotcha.
You can pretty much add that to almost anything. I mean, obviously, you might not want to add that to, like, say, your Alfredo sauce, your tomato sauce. But again, add a little more tomato paste, add a little bit more cheese. Sometimes I will add more pasta water. And you would think like, oh, you're adding more water. But then when you cook out all that liquid, all the starch again, it's just like adding a little bit more starch to it. So it'll continue that. Keep continuing that.
True. Yeah.
I've heard that.
Yeah, I've heard it.
I've never tried it yet.
Yeah, I can't get no.
I've never really, to be fair, I've never really looked up how to do it, so I don't want to just like.
I've tried it, but I just don't think I don't think I've used enough, honestly. So, because I mean, if you think about it, like a lot of your Asian dishes where the chicken and stuff, when they fry it, it's all just cornstarch battered to get it extra crispy. Right. So I mean, I get it. Like I said, I don't know.
Oh man, this is kind of in depth here.
I do my wings differently, so I don't really need the cornstarch.
Right. Okay, add your dry rub. All right. Okay. I'll try it. I'll give it a rip. One of these days. I don't know when it'll happen. I have severe ADHD, so it's not on me. It's not on me. So before we as Damon would say, put a nice pretty bow on this, we're going to go over ways to prevent and fix broken sauces.
Okay.
So
This is important.
Whenever you're ready.
It's in. It's in.
All right, I'm going to zoom in a little bit. There we go. That looks pretty. Oops. So, types of sauce and why they break. Biggest ones, obviously, it's for the emulsion sauces. Egg-based emulsions such as hollandaise, mayonnaise, or aioli. Even certain vinaigrettes like Caesar dressing involve suspension of fat in water, which we all know oil and water do not mix. So if you vigorously shake it, like you've seen people, they do, or use your immersion blender, or you can put them in blenders, blah, 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 all that kind of stuff. But making a sauce often requires the utilization of reduction. So simmering it for a while, which will help get rid of some of that liquid. But they will, if they are not emulsified correctly, they will break. They will hold together for a while, but they will break. It's happened to me definitely a couple of times. Watch the heat. In many cases, heat is your culprit. You got it too hot. I guarantee that's what most of my problem has been.
Mm-hmm. I know for a fact that was my cheese sauce issue for my mac and cheese, for my smoked mac and cheese.
Right. Because if what it says right here, pan sauces and cream sauces will become broken and curdle if simmered or boiled for too long. The emulsified ingredient butter or cream is subject to high heat. The balance of fat and water is thrown off, exactly, which causes it to split. So take your time. Exactly. Take your time. In the sauce where fat is added, most recipes call for it to be drizzled in slowly. And if I'm sure many people have seen it, when they're making them in their blenders, you can see them slowly pouring in the oil. Even on simple stuff like pestos, it's still
true.
Balance the fat.
That's huge.
The cardinal rule for sauce making is that the fat and water must be the correct ratio to disperse. Otherwise, the emulsion will not form, or it'll break if it's already formed. So rectifying this calls for whisking in cold cream to bring the ratio back to the right levels. See, cold versus hot. Same principles apply to vinaigrettes and oil-based sausage. In general, most emulsified vinaigrettes call for a 3-to-1 ratio of oil to vinegar, with either mustard or egg employed as the emulsifier. Vinaigrettes are likely to split if too much oil is added, as it simply overwhelms the base. It's chemistry right here. Whip it good. Whip it good. Other than certain binders and emulsified agents, the major factor at work when bringing together fat and water is known as shearing power, or in layperson's terms, elbow grease. Which has been what's nice about blenders and immersion blenders, because you can cheat.
Mm-hmm.
With enough power, these droplets will remain suspended in the liquid with the oil and fat. Some sauces, such as a barramundi, a French sauce made out of only butter and water, remain emulsified through the strength of whisking alone. What?
No, we'll touch it in a minute. You can't see it right now.
Oh. Minimize added acidity. So acid will break your how do they fix that? If you already added too much lemon juice or other acid and it caused your sauce to curdle, you may be out of luck. Oh, okay. Once the proteins in the egg or dairy are cooked, right? Because we all know acid cooks. That's how you make ceviches and stuff like that. Mustard adds a nice touch. I will definitely agree with that. Mustard works
Right.
way more stuff than people give it credit for.
Mhm.
And people who say they don't like mustard eat a lot of things with mustard in it. That's what makes me laugh.
Thanks.
It makes me laugh inside so much. So this is interesting. If you're having trouble getting your sauce to stay emulsified, your recipe doesn't already call for mustard, try whisking in a small amount. Depending on the sauce, it may not be enough to save an already broken sauce, but it can set up for more success from the get-go. That's very interesting. Huh.
True.
Add a splash of cream. Yep. I've definitely used that tons of times.
I've stumbled across that on an accident, and now I've kept it.
Right. Because cream, as it, like how I make my like cream sauce Alfredo, like American Alfredo or whatever it's called, Italian American Alfredo, is I like put a little bit of oil in the pan and start it heating up just a tiny bit, like halfway, with the garlic and basil, and then I pour the cream in. And so it all kind of comes up together. And then I cook that forever. Add my, black pepper, nutmeg. If you're not using nutmeg in your Alfredo, it's not good enough, I promise.
Touche.
And then, like, I add the cheese at the very end once the sauce is already kind of coming together. But it's important to know where this tip can and can't be used. Over reduce your pan sauce, add a splash of cream will work wonders. Vinaigrette didn't come together. Yeah, obviously don't put cream in it.
No.
Make a roux. Damon and I have preached it a million times. And then you just slowly add a tablespoon or so to your sauce or soup or stew or whatever. And then again, stop before it gets to where you want. When it almost looks there, stop. Because when you slowly cut the heat and it comes down to eating temperature, it will already have thickened a tiny bit. But this is interesting. If you find yourself with a broken pan sauce or gravy, a roux will be a potential avenue to fix it. A roux can also repair a broken cream sauce or cheese sauces. Boom. It says start with about 3 tablespoons of butter and 3 tablespoons of flour over medium heat. Great. Absolutely great tip.
Well,
try cold butter. There we are again, boys. We're back to the cold butter. I didn't invent it. I just use it. Use some chemical magic. Ooh, what's this? Xanthan gum. Yeah, I don't know about all that. I just don't know much about it. So
I don't either. I've heard of it, but I mean, I don't know it either.
So let's get a secret trick for perfectly thick smoothies. For example, xanthan gum can keep hollandaise from breaking. That's important because that's a tough one I hear. Can keep oil-based vinaigrettes from separating without using the eggs. Or sodium. You can use xanthan gum or sodium citrate. Well, sodium citrate is just salt from citrus. So I don't know what xanthan gum is, if that's natural or not, but I already have sodium citrate. Fun fact, sodium citrate will also help your cheese sauces stay creamy while they're out. Strain your broken sauce. I have heard this. Because you'll pull out right here. Cheese sauce is gonna become gritty. You'll pull all the stuff out, all the undesirable stuff, and then that's probably the biggest tip right there. Know when to quit and start over.
I think we've probably all been there.
Oh yeah, definitely, absolutely been there. You know, like there's been times in the past where we've gotten sauces, and I've used them for pasta sauces. And working with an already emulsified sauce and then trying to re-emulsify that I had break on me quite a few times.
So does xanthan gum, it says, is a sugar derivative made by fermenting bacteria. It's used
I
as
am a fan of
it's used,
fermenting bacteria.
it's
An
used as a
absolute fan.
thickener, laxative, and improves swallowing and diabetes.
Well, I don't want laxative.
Diabetes.
Well, that's good.
That's what it says, buddy.
It comes from sugar.
Yep.
But it helps diabetes.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Maybe we might need to pull up that on a Saturday.
Yeah, things that make you go, huh? I don't disagree with that. Now I know what you were giggling about. I don't disagree. I don't disagree at all. Don't disagree in any way with that. I believe any of us talking about cream. It just gets a little weird after a certain point.
True.
But it is what it is. I'm really good at making sauces. And I make a lot of cream sauces.
So we talked earlier, and I
Right.
thought it was pretty cool. That one little ingredient that you got stashed off to add that umami to your sauce.
What?
No.
Oh, the anchovy. Yeah, they're anchovies.
Yeah, anchovy.
They're tiny, dude. I ordered them online.
Mm-hmm.
They're like as big as my pinky, but like paper thin.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, sometimes I'll throw it in the bottom of the pan with the oil and garlic and just mash it all up, stir it in. No one knows. It just tastes good.
That's right. As that pop.
Right, and I'd seen that a bunch of times in Italian cooking. It's all over the place, and I was like, nah, bro, no, I don't eat stuff like that. Like, I already ate the worst of the worst. I don't want anything like that's less sucky.
Right.
And what changed my mind? We were talking about it. So, it was Buck Tooey.
Mm-hmm.
When they told us what they told us.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like,
yeah, it was
like we could tell there was something. We
That's
knew
right.
there was something.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I maybe would have guessed that. Maybe after going through everything else I could think of, I guess.
Right.
I don't know. But
yeah, definitely. That
anchovies,
definitely
the
had
meat tenderizer people forgot about. I have not used it to tenderize my meat, and I probably won't use it for that.
Nah.
Because like all the Asian dishes that you love to eat have either oyster sauce or fish sauce in it, or both. So that's also what got me thinking. I'm like, well, I love Chinese, what Asian food. And I love Caesar salad dressing, and the real stuff's made with anchovies, right?
Mm-hmm.
You start thinking about it, and you're like, huh? It doesn't taste fishy. Does it taste fishy?
Mm-mm.
Like your whatever beef doesn't taste fishy, but guaranteed there's fish sauce or oyster sauce in that mix.
Mm-hmm.
When you're eating your Beijing beef or whatever you're eating at your Chinese restaurant, and it just started making me thinking. So yeah, mix it up in there, and it's just another layer of flavor. That's all that is. It's it's crazy because you talked to this guy, the same guy sitting in front of you saying all this like 20 years ago. He's speaking a very different tune. Well, maybe a little bit longer, but still a very different tune.
But it's the same. When you're talking about back to the anchovies in it, it's the same way when I was talking about going back to making the brown gravy.
Right.
Throw a couple of little dashes of Worcestershire sauce in it, and you're still getting that anchovy out of it too.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So, but you're getting the fresher version.
Right. I'm just doing it myself.
Right.
Instead of buying a sauce that is already made with it and all that
That's
stuff
right.
in there.
No, I ain't mad at it.
And I mean, like I've made like one homemade fried rice, like total ingredient sauce mix myself with
Okay.
like fish oil, oyster sauce, put
Mhm.
everything in it myself. The only sauces I'm really doing like that are all my pasta sauces. So,
Yeah. Good stuff, man.
right. Hopefully that covered enough info for the topic that was asked for.
Mhm.
And if you liked this asked and answered, you can go to the hotline and you can text it or even call and leave a message. And we will get to that topic when we can or when we get to it.
Mm-hmm. I like it.
Be careful on that one. Pineapples will also disintegrate a steak.
Yes.
Speaking of disintegration, it is disintegrating time of the show. So, folks, thanks so much for being here with us. Damon and I super appreciate it every week.
Absolutely.
Damon, I'll let you take us out this week, big guy.
Hey, man. Hey, don't forget, now we got a new show on Wednesday. So check that out. If you're into the outdoors, we got TDN Outdoors with the Deer Blind Dudes. And again, all these shows is at 9 o'clock on the Eastern. So Wednesday night, we got them. Always got the parlay, late night parlay on Thursdays. The DAD pods on Friday nights. There's no telling what's going to happen.
Right.
But speaking of no telling what's going to happen, the Saturday show, which is our only pre-recorded show, if you want to get into the random shenanigans, that's the show for it. And then always, Sundays, we're going to be right here to wrap up the weekend for you with another Foodie show, and we're going to take it on out. So have a good week, everybody. See
Love you
you
guys.
Wednesday.